My name is Nick Maritato. I am one of the teachers at the Kids in Comedy program. Each class we have a workshop circle in which the kids get to share what they've done over the week, and they can share their ideas that they're going to be working on that day in class. Basically, like, take your main idea and bullet point out every little detail that you want to bring up on stage.
Like here, it's kind of like an escape from like reality, and like we all just like want to be funny, want to make each other laugh. I always thought that like I could be an artist, even though I wasn't the best. And then like this kid named Mocello came to my school, and like he was just kind of like the best because he was like Italian and like.
Anything goes in the circle. It's a no judgment zone. Some of the stuff that you just want to talk about in this group socially might be something that we can develop into some material.
My preschool boyfriend, who I haven't talked to since preschool, hit me up and started like flirting with me.
My dad said I need to do something in the summer, and he said, "You're a funny man, Mark." So it was either that or tennis camp, and I'm glad I chose this. One of my favorite parts about being American is the food. One of my favorite types of American food is Japanese. I feel like true comedy comes from first a place of what you're really interested in, right? Like what are you passionate about hating, or what are you passionate about liking?
I never really thought of myself as like, oh, I'm that funny kid or anything like that. A lot of times when I have an idea, like I say, I write it down in a notebook, and I'm like, oh, this is something that I have an opinion on, I want to write it down.
When my mom's away on a business trip, me and my dad live off a diet of Pop-Tarts and pretzels. That's not really true. We actually don't really eat. For example, my mom was away on a business trip and I went to my dad. And I was like, hey Dad, I'm hungry. And he's like, yeah, me too. And that was it.
I don't think that being a girl should scare you at all from trying out comedy. If you're a girl and you're there and you're funny, you'll get more respect because of it. I always do bits about things that are relevant in my life, which are normally school, boys, or Judaism. My grandpa said, well, little Avery, every Jewish person has a little tiny rabbi that lives in the hump of your nose. Every time you sin or do something bad, the rabbi will upcut and make the hump bigger.
A lot of their work needs to be done walking around the world by themselves in their brain, observing, being able to take what they see, put down in a notebook, and then come back to class with some thoughts applied to it. Often we'll say something like, come in with 3 ideas next week about your family. Come in with 3 ideas next week about school.
My teacher tells my mom, he talks too much. And my mom heard about this place. So that was just sort of an outlet, I guess, for that.
Every time my family uses one, it's always like, don't get food on the tablecloth. Then why is it here? What's its purpose? We had the common sense to invent paper napkins. Where are paper tablecloths?
First time I got on stage, I was in 7th grade, and I was pretty terrified. I would always look down, never look at the audience. But now I get on stage and it just sort of flows naturally.
Doctors typically don't recommend having children when you're in your mid-40s, so honestly, I feel kind of special. And what did I do with this lucky life that my parents gave me? I made fun of them on stage in front of random people.
I like seeing people turn something that you wouldn't think of as positive into something that they can own on stage and feel proud of, and it's kind of empowering.
If a kid's talking about something crazy that happened to them at school and it may seem a little sad for an audience, we like to stop it right there, make a pivot, and see how we can make that fun.
Even if you're not a professional stand-up comic, you can just show up on an open mic Friday night when you're bored, and I think that outlet, it will always be there for me. Like, it's just something to keep in my back pocket, I guess.